Welcome to the documentation of xarrior, my human warrior. And before you say, wow, what an unoriginal name, this guy from Westfall actually said this.
Cool nickname, sir.
With this playthrough, I want to make it as far as I can without dying, and record each of my deaths. Now, with all of these cool add-ons, you may think I seem too pro to die. The truth, however, is that this is my first time playing the warrior class, and I'm pretty new to vanilla WoW as well. This is recorded on the Turtle WoW private server Nordinar. It has a great community and I highly recommend it. The videos I upload from it are highlights that need to be saved so that xarrior may be remembered. Let's begin. When I arrived in Goldshire, some kind soul had put down a tent and I stayed a while to get my increased experience gain. Tents in Turtle WoW give you what is called rested experience in World of Warcraft, which doubles any experience you gain from killing mobs. Wow. Normally, this is earned at a really slow rate by staying in capital cities or in an inn. But tents from Turtle WoW give you the maximum rested experience within around 10 minutes. Wow. While resting, I had spotted this little green guy selling his stuff from the auction house. Let's see how long it takes for me to cave and send gold to this character from my other one, to buy some better gear. Just ignore these weirdos RPing.
Not as strong as you.
Okay, fine, don't.
This is what you do to get attention.
Stop. No.
Get a room.
No.
Hush and enjoy the show.
Is this e-dating? Honestly, after that, I lost track of how long it took, but eventually I just went ahead and did it. One of the things I learned from my other characters' guild was to make sure to help others, as that good karma can help you when you need it later on. Therefore, I decided to create a karma counter, which will go up when I do a good deed and down when I do something bad, intentionally or unintentionally. This is not to flaunt my good nature, as I will include every time I messed up and every rude thing I did too. Starting with this maiden in distress. Like a redditor, I hurried to her aid, and she was not very thankful. I know who I won't be holding the door open for in the future. Shortly after my good-natured deed, it was time to tackle Goldtooth, the head honcho of this mummy. And this was not looking good. Outnumbered, I was sure my first death would come already. But then suddenly, I was the maiden. Maybe this whole karma thing was true after all. But honestly, after mentioning the whole Redditor thing, it starts to feel like I'm making Reddit references, so let's just move on. Warrior is pretty weak during leveling, since he has to be so close and personal, and lacks any healing abilities. I'm sure there are more reasons, but I'm new, okay? Leave me alone. I got so caught up fighting these equal level foes that I missed getting snuck up on by a giant shape-shifting bear man. He seemed friendly enough, but after I was shook out of my blood rage, I realized I had murdered one of his kin. I had to let him know, since he must have missed it. What happens next may shock you.
Sorry for killing your kin.
It's fine. I skinned my own brothers too.
Well, I had avoided war with the druids, but another foe was lying in wait. But before we get to that, I have to share with you my secret tactic. I knew these prowlers were a pain to take on one-on-one, but luckily I had spotted a max level player by the nearby stables. It was time to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And before you say it, this was not a total accident. I meant to do this. I am the narrator. I am to be trusted. I led the wolf to the stables where I definitely knew there was a high level player, and not only did he have the time it would take me to kill that wolf, he also gave me a strong paladin buff. So, if you need any other social manipulation skills, you know where to find me. Oh, and I also got this rare drop green item, which I also knew would happen. But I digress. Let's get back to the real enemy. Never mind. More digressing. I had a near-death experience. I just had to let you know. This was my first taste of what death could be like. Brazenly, I went into battle without recovering my health. This was a mistake. I traded blows with this hyena man, but his dodges were just too powerful for my meek human motor functions. With little life to spare, I ran like a coward, straight into a second gnome. What a foolish death this would have been. I guess the foe was myself or something all along, because I just charged straight into death again, welcoming its embrace, just to desperately steal a quest mob from another player. I will definitely count this as negative karma. Get ready for some pro gameplay as I run towards the water and realize that it is, in fact, water. I quickly turn 90 degrees, and with the elegance and finesse of a beaver, I desperately click the potion I already had bound to a key because I was panicking. And yes, I claim my rightful quest mob at the end. Sorry, fellow quester. Ah, the capital of the human race. It's glorious. I mean, take a look for yourself. I entered Stormwind and, as I mentioned previously, I played Horde. I had no idea where to go in this massive city. Luckily, After plucking up my courage, I managed to get help from the friendly locals on where to go for the things I needed.
We're mining trainer.
Follow. Up higher.
God, I love this community. Now, the really cool thing about World of Warcraft is that gnomes invented these things called subways. With this great piece of technology, I could make my way to the neighboring city of the dwarves, Ironforge. As the tram was arriving, I greeted the friendly locals who were going to be my fellow passengers. The tram ride was honestly very immersive. I sat down. The guy in front of me took a hold of the railings up front, and the guy behind me fell asleep. I love train rides in real life, and this experience did not disappoint. We can skip my deeds in Ironforge, but just know that I purchased a firearms license and shot a couple of times to practice my shooting skill. I missed my train ride home because I got distracted trying to catch rats, but soon I would be back to questing. If you're starting to see a theme of me getting distracted, you're quite perceptive, and this fact will not change anytime soon. On my way back, I noticed two things in the chat. The first was this poor hardcore player who had fallen to a dog 9 levels below him, and the world chat was going wild over this. Honestly, as they did with like every hardcore death.
Hounded. I eat the gnome and shit it out. Cracked. Level 33. Woof woof motherfucker. Release the hounds.
The second was the charitable fellow giving out money in goldshire. Now, it could be argued that I didn't need it since I transferred some money from my alt already, but honestly, classic skill learning is so expensive. I felt it was fine, fight me. Hogger is a notoriously difficult enemy from the Elven Forest, but I slew him easily because I'm a natural. I mean, just watch this. Killed him with a single blow. Whoa, where'd that elf with the pig come from? That's crazy. You're crazy. Now, this was definitely an accident, but it should still be added to the pool of negative karma. Not only did I steal the mob this kind stranger was trying to save me from, but I also could definitely not have survived without him, and the mob still aggroed onto him, and he almost died. This sucked, but I would never purposely be a bad person, right? We're all for comedic timing, but I can back up my point, okay? Look at me graciously giving this desperate player a free bag. My heart is truly made of gold. Anyways, after that I went to town and boasted about my sick hogger kill.
I just slew Haga, guys. I know. I'm a hero.
Finally, we arrive at the most memorable part of Elven Forest for me, the Jasper Lode Mines. Now, the mines themselves are fine, there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. However, there was a foe inside that I was not prepared for. Before that though, we have to tip the karmic scales again, don't mind the rogue. A helpful night elf helped me out by healing me, thus increasing her positive karma. So I figured I would take this opportunity to bolster mine as well. A tip for her healing services, if you will. Enough. We're here to see the bad stuff, the evil stuff, the foe, the terrible... Not him. Honestly, I was cracking up so much about these stupid webbed kobold cocoons. Something about the pear shape and the dumb little look had me rolling. And the worst part is that it's still funny to me. But there he was, my arch enemy, Edmonton, the Paladin. You might ask, aren't Paladins supposed to be the good guys? And I mean, I guess. But this gooblet of a goober made me spend so damn long in this little mine because these respawn timers took forever and there were only so many mobs. I was losing my mind just running back and forth while this stone wall didn't give me an ounce of his attention. And I like attention. I just kept getting distracted by the stupid kobolds and I missed quest mobs because of it. And just as I was getting distracted with a level up, this gets thrown at me. That is Mother Fang. Mother Fang. A rare mob. And when I say rare, you rarely see these mobs on highly populated servers like this one. And this guy had a rare mob practically given to him and all the juicy loot was just his to keep. Granted, I still got done with the quest before him, but I was pissed. And for the first and last time, we had two-way communication.
Okay.
To close this adventure out, I will do a play-by-play on my incredibly close fight against the notorious Dead Tooth Jack. Never heard of him? Not surprised. Clearly, I have elevated myself above him in notoriety. Anyways, he stole a guardsman's hot dog or something, and I really needed the sword from the quest rewards. First thing I did was scope out my target. Secondly, I took out any witnesses. Then I went in for the fight. Now, I was outnumbered, but the chumps backing Jack up were a few levels below me. I thunderclapped to slow my enemy's attacks down. Then I got knocked on my ass. Boom, one goon down. Now, at critical health, I had to think fast if I was going to survive. I railed on the second goon a while longer before, once again, clicking the key-binded health potion to down it with one swing. I got knocked on my ass again as the second goon fell on the weight of my legs that are equal to a horse's kick. It was now a one-on-one, only he was at almost full health and I was at almost none. The hamstring ability slows down the enemy's movement so that I can get away safely and heal with bandages. This plan was flawless, if I had only walked a little farther. With a very lucky dodge, I had secured what could have been the biggest throw of all time. I collected my reward, headed back to town, having finished all the goldshire quests. To be continued.